Warning: the rituals you are about to witness this evening are real. They have been handed down through several generations of witches. Some of the spells being used tonight can result in serious injury or demonic harm if done incorrectly. Please use caution when attempting any of these rituals on your own. We recommend finding a seasoned witch for guidance on your first rites and ceremonies. Now we welcome you to our Halloween Witchcast 2020.
Happy Halloween and welcome to the live Witchcast 2020. I'm your host, Sarah Schultz. You may know me from the YouTube channel, The Haunted Honeymooners. Today, I'm here to talk to you about witchcraft in a general sense. Every witch has a spell book. You can write down spells or you can take notes on what really works for you. In this book, for example, I have binding spells, smudging techniques, spells for animal protection. Anything that has worked for you in the past that you have done, you can always take notes and put them in your little book. Everything I've learned comes from a book, literally. So, for example, this book is called The Craft. It's a book of shadows. Every witch has a book of shadows. How silly of me, I forgot to set the mood.
Hey all my witches, welcome to Mystical Magic. I'm Dahlia, and thank you for joining me every week where we get to talk about the world of witchcraft and more.
Witches! From just beyond the edge of light, from the deeper darkness where no living being has ever walked, comes the terror of those who have given their souls to the devil. This is the story of one such creature. This is the story of a witch.
Good evening, happy Halloween, and welcome to the 2020 live Witchcast. I'm Dahlia Cutscar from the show about all things witchcraft, the occult, and anything paranormal. So tonight, since it's Halloween, we are going to be filming live at this haunted cemetery where it is said that a witch named Lilith's spirit roams these grounds at night. Some people have claimed to have communicated with her, some claim to have just spotted her and have seen her. So we are going to perform a ritual later to see if we can make contact with her. I'll also get a little bit more into the ritual do's and don'ts, kind of show you a little bit of things once we kind of explore over here and see what we're working with. So with witchcraft, there is light and dark, good and evil. I personally am a white witch. My grandmother was a black magic witch, so you're working with two different forces there. With white witches and magic, you always follow this motto, do harm to none. If you take anything from the earth, you're supposed to replace it. Also, you follow the rule of three, where anything you do, whether it's good or bad, is going to come back to you threefold. So that's where you got to kind of be careful and watch what you're doing with your spell work. You don't want to do anything that's going to manipulate another person's mind or emotions or anything like that. So you just always got to follow that rule. So anytime that you are doing magic, spell work, rituals, anything like that, you want to create a sacred space, which is called casting a circle. So when you do that, some witches use just their finger, some use a wand, some use crystals, depends on what feels best for you. But what you're going to be doing is creating like an imaginary circle that's surrounding you and keeping you enclosed. So when you do that, you're going to move clockwise, pointing with whatever object you're using to create that imaginary circle. As you do that, you're going to call in your elements as well. The circle and the elements, this is what contains and protects your energies that you're working with. So earth, air, fire, water, that's what you're calling upon. You're thanking them for their help and for helping your intentions and your spell work to work. So once you get your circle cast and your elements called in, you can't leave the circle. Nothing can enter besides animals and kids. You hopefully don't have animals or kids around when you're doing this, just because you don't want to affect anything. You just kind of want to do it as your own sacred space, and you're the only one doing it. So once you're inside and you do your spell casting or your ritual, when you're finished, what you're going to do is you're going to set your intentions out. All of your good vibes and energy, spirit, soul, everything's going to go out into the universe, and you're going to open back the circle, which is going to release all of that. So when you do that, you're going to go counterclockwise, still pointing like you were doing before with whatever object you're using. And as you do that and you release the elements, you're going to do it one by one, just as you called them in, and you're going to thank them for what they did and for helping you. Once the circle is closed, a lot of witches will say something similar to the fact of the circle is closed but never broken. That means that, you know, it's going to keep everything just kind of out, all the good vibes, and make your stuff. Okay, so we are going to go inside the cemetery here in just a moment with a live infrared camera that we're going to place inside here, and we're going to leave it overnight and hope that we pick something up, whether it be Lilith or if it be another spirit, just any activity that's going to be happening in the cemetery. This will pick up and it will feed straight to you guys, so you'll get to see what's going on inside the cemetery. So let's go ahead and go. That's a heavy gate. All right, let's go ahead and go. I'm ready to get out of here too. Okay. All right, so this is where Lilith Delarue was buried. She's been spotted around, typically hanging around her gravesite. People have also spotted her further down in the cemetery, which we're going to set up the infrared camera and hope that overnight we will see some kind of activity from the cemetery. We want to make contact with her, which is why we'll do the ritual later. But yeah, this is where Lilith Delarue is at. And what the fuck was that? Ow, fuck. That's like warm. Where the hell did that come from? So I don't know if y'all saw that, but this came out of nowhere. We gotta set the camera up because we're gonna probably catch some really cool shit here. So, alright, let's go set it up. Okay, so we're going to set this up over here. It's our infrared camera. We're going to see if it's going to pick anything up tonight, any activity, or if Lilith happens to appear. So I'll set this right here so we can see her grave. Go back and see what this is all about. She's appearing out of nowhere, so and I think we are about done in here. So I will see y'all in a second. It was so hot when I touched it. It's really weird. So we have a key of some sort. So we're going to take this back to our place and see what we can conjure with it. So camera set up, and I think we are about done in here. So I will see you all in just a second.
Welcome to the Halloween Live Witchcast. This is me, Tony, And you know me because you watch my videos, you watch it all the time. Thank you for the subscribers, I've got quite a few. So you know who I am. Anyway, welcome to the live Witchcast. This is something very different that we're doing for Halloween. So I hope you all enjoy, I hope you do. Anyway, what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be doing a basic guide to witchcraft. So for those of you out there who don't know witchcraft, don't know much about it, this is for you. Okay, first of all, what is witchcraft? Well, it can be many things really, let's be totally honest here. It has changed over time. There is Wicca, Gardnerian Wicca, founded by Gerald Gardner, Alexandrian Wiccan. There's so many different things. There's witchcraft, there's traditional witchcraft. Traditional witchcraft is more of a kind of heritage witchcraft. It's definitely not Wiccan. It goes back from the lineage of years, years that gone by. We've got loads of family members are passing it on. Maybe your granny's passed it on to you and stuff like that. And you're learning bits, and it's very secretive within the family and stuff like that. I went like that then because I felt something really warm under this arm. It's very hot in here, but hang on a sec. Yeah, something really warm under here touched me. It's kind of like, when sometimes you get something and it sends a chill down your spine, or a very warm feeling. Well, that just happened then. I mean, all right, I've got Mr. Skull here. He's quite nice though. He's really cool. So it definitely wasn't him. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, so it varies. Witchcraft can be a lot of different things to many different people. So I prefer, and I am a traditional practicing witchcraftian. Now, I'm a traditional witch, I'd call myself. And you might be sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, let me check. It's a man, he's a man, he can't be a witch. Well, yes, I am. I identify as a witch. Because, let's be totally honest here. What I do, I practice witchcraft, I am a witch. A lot of men are like, no. Hang on a second. A lot of men, where's this going? I'll be like, no, I am a wizard. Pointy hat maybe, something like that. I am a warlock. I don't want to be associated with being a witch. That's very female. And what's wrong with that? Who cares? Do you know what I mean? I identify as a witch because it's what I do. I practice witchcraft. Witchcraft, maybe Wicca is a religion. Traditional witchcraft, it can be, it's very spiritual. It can be a religion. There's a lot of altars, so yeah, it can be. Anyway, look at this thing. I actually found this in the woods and I love it. And it's kind of my own staff. It's gorgeous. I love it. While on that note here, if you're getting into witchcraft, into witchcraft, some things I would say to you first. Read up on it. Watch loads of videos. Watch loads of tutorials. Watch loads of stuff like that. Don't dive straight in. Literally, do not dive straight into witchcraft. It's very dangerous. It can be very, very dangerous, but it can also be very beneficial as well. So do not dive straight into it. Okay, this is a warning. We've got a little sign down here. No, this is live. We can't have that. But this is a warning. Don't dive straight into witchcraft. Don't dabble. Don't sit there at home thinking, that man's a witch, or maybe you're man, woman, child, beast, whatever you may be. Don't sit there and think, I watched that video and I want to become a witch, but what do I want? Well, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-boyfriend, I'd like them dead and see, no, don't do that. In Wicca, they have the rule of the three, and, basically harm none, and nothing bad's going to happen to you. Very good. Traditional witchcraft that I follow doesn't do that. It doesn't follow that kind of, I won't do any nasty spells, anything like that. It doesn't follow that. So, it's different. Traditional witchcraft, to me, I was drawn into it, and I think you could be a hedge witch, you could be any kind of witch you want. There's different types of magic. There's high magic, there's low magic. High magic, you're probably talking about the ceremonial magic, within bigger, cults and covens kind of thing. And low magic is more folky magic. Now, I draw myself into the folk magic and the traditional side of witchcraft, but I am fascinated by all forms of witchcraft. Wicca, everything. I'll read up on it and enjoy it.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the live 2020 Witchcast live stream. Hello, I am a witch. Well, okay, let's get to a fact here. You could call me a witch. Witches are normally kind of what you call a female witch, but they usually call a male a warlock. But honestly, doesn't really matter to me. If you want to call me a witch, you want to call me a warlock, just don't call me a bitch. That's pretty much just no calling me a bitch. Witch, warlock, any of that's fine by me. And here's the thing about me, as a witch or warlock, however you want to put it, I'm kind of a noob. I'm kind of a new person to this. It's just kind of something that I've been trying out and, just kind of seeing how it is. And, so I don't know all the facts. I don't know all the factoids. And some people may be correcting me in the comments of this live stream and saying that, why are you on here? And also my name, if you guys are wondering, and I think I forgot to tell you guys, is, Chauncey the Warlock. That's what I like to be called. If you really want to have a term to me and a full name, Chauncey the Warlock. Duh, not the Warlock. Chauncey the Warlock. And like I said, I have very new to this whole witch and warlock type thing. I have been doing a whole lot of research. I've been doing a lot of. I don't really read too much, honestly. I'm not really one of those reading types. I'm more of a visual learner. I had a lot of problems with that in school, with not really, if I had to read a book or I had to try and compute the facts by reading, it never really worked. It was kind of like out one ear, in the other. And I know I'm kind of talking about a bunch of stuff that you probably really could give a shit about. But, this is my life, and I'm kind of just, telling you how things are for me and kind of what I've gone through in my life and stuff. So, I try and fill you in and let you all know a little bit. I think you guys who are watching this stream would care somewhat about me. You don't want just all spookiness and scariness. I think you want to, get to know your warlock. But as I said, I have been pretty much learning by watching videos, and I've also learned by watching a lot of movies. I consider myself to be quite a bit of a horror aficionado. So if it comes to movies, I know a lot about movies. Probably the one that I watch the most dealing with witchcraft is, the film The Craft. That's one of those ones that is basically fire. What I mean? If you want to talk about a movie, I consider, The Craft to be true fire. Absolutely love that movie. But, I'm pretty much here, on the live stream, and I'm really, happy to even be invited on here because, like I said, I'm quite a bit of a noob at this whole thing, and this isn't totally something that I mean, listen, I don't want to come on here and say I know nothing on here, but I do know stuff. I know what I've learned by watching and, seeing other people's YouTube videos. And no, I'm not just copying everything I've heard other people say. I was computing it. That, as I said, that is how I learn. That is how I compute. That is how I understand things. I understand things by watching. I don't understand by reading. And, I wish I could go back and tell all the teachers that in school that gave me all kinds of problems and said that I was a twit and that say I couldn't understand anything. It was because, listen, I would learn by seeing. I wouldn't learn by reading those stupid books. The books were worthless. You know what the books were to me? They were paperweights. And I know I keep on talking too much about my life and all my own problems and all my issues and all that kind of stuff. And I know I should knock it off. And I see in the comments you're giving me a lot of grief about this whole thing. And you say I should get the hell out of here. I don't really care what you think I should do. The bottom line is I was invited on here. So honestly, somebody cares about me. And somebody wanted me on here talking about all of this and my thoughts and views on witchcraft and all the different kinds of subjects, and we're going to go on to a whole lot of different things on this live stream, for at least my portion of it, and I'm just really happy to be here. I just consider this to be a really, really great experience for me, so I'm happy about all of this. So yeah, so thanks so much for tuning in and checking me out on this live stream. And like I said, we're going to be talking about a whole lot of stuff, on here, and we're going to try some experiments and try some. I don't want to spoil everything, but let's just say I've got a lot of things planned. I got a lot of things. Well, I don't really have long sleeves. I have short sleeves, but I got a lot of things up my sleeves. And don't be peeking at my pits back there. Don't be peeking. Yeah, I got pit hair. I don't shave them. But I got a lot of things up my sleeves and my cloak and everything. So anyway, guys, we'll continue on this live stream. And like I said, we got a lot of things planned on here. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be very, very spooky and very, very scary. I'm just excited to be here. I honestly don't know why I'm here. I cannot believe I was invited, and I'm just happy about this whole thing.
Here is some basic witchery 101, just so you kind of get a feel for it with the moons. The full moon / mother. The moon's energy is at its most potent when it reaches this stage. And while we can use it to boost any effort, it's of real benefit to especially complicated workings or difficult situations. Everyone always blames everything on the full moon. That is the mother moon. I tend to sage, open up all the windows, otherwise you're just letting the demons run loose in your home. You gotta let them out. I cleanse my crystals. I leave them out overnight or between 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And that's when they cleanse the best. To be honest, they get to recharge. I also have a little bit of history for you. Like I mentioned before, a lot of people think witchcraft is satanic. It's not. It's really not. It depends on, what you're really studying. So here's a little bit of history. In the 1930s in England, the late Dr. Gerald Brousseau Gardner stumbled upon a living coven of witches and learned the true meaning of witchcraft. He found that far from being Satanists and devil worshippers, practitioners of black magic and workers of evil, witches were a benign people closely attuned to nature, whose first and only commandment was to harm none. I look at myself as a green witch, is what it's called. I feel a close connection to nature. I love being outside. Just in everything I do, all of my rituals involve nature, involves the outdoors. I am not part of a coven either. I do work alone. So you can work alone, you can be in a coven. It's really up to you, depends on who you are. I'm not really a social person, so I just kind of stick to myself. Basically, everyone looks at witchcraft as, like, for example, the movie The Craft. It's not a bunch of teenagers sitting around doing spells and making crazy things happen. It's a faith, it's a religion, just like Christianity. This is my Christianity.
This is a sage burning one. It's a burning incense cone. Oh, breathe in, that is gorgeous. My whole house just smells. No, it sounds really weird. My whole house just smells of incense, it really does. So what that's doing is, what I'd like to do now is say to, well, not this cone, but say to the end of the room, if there's any spirits in here, I'd like to say, take away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. Okay, take away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. Take away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. Recently, I'll take this watch and I'll say, recently, well, it must be a couple of years ago, I had a tattoo done, if you can see that there. I've always been drawn to triangles and the Eye of Horus, so it's very protective as well, so that pushes negativity away, which I'm very fond of. So this is what I was saying earlier, don't dabble, because you can bring spirits. You can literally bring spirits into your house, into your brain, into your psyche. I'll give you a little example of why not to dabble. When I first got into magic and witchcraft, I couldn't sleep for weeks. I'm talking insomnia, I'm talking night terrors, I'm talking like the old hag syndrome, pushing at your chest. I had that for ages, but it was because I went too far, too deep, too quick. Now I advise you not to do that. Don't go in so quick. Read up things. Start by getting into the nature side. Literally, I walk along beaches every day. I walk through fields every day. Where I actually live here in the UK, because I know a lot of you on the other casts, we've got live now, I can see the other cast now streaming. I'm actually from the UK, and where I live here now, I'm 4-minute walk, it must be a 4-minute walk away from where they hanged the last witch in St Osyth in Essex. So look it up, get out there, Google it up. Literally, I live 4 minutes away from there, and where they hang the last witch, I walk down to the seafront and I pick these stones up. Now these are magical. These are what everyone calls me hag stones. And I collect things like this. Can we see that? I don't know if you can see this hole here. Hagstone. These are...
Well, we're back on here now, and we're going to be talking about some interesting facts that I have learned about witchcraft and some things that I feel like you guys might find kind of exciting or interesting or kind of out there, just the kind of stuff that I find interesting. And one thing involving witchcraft and witchery that I find very interesting is the idea of love spells. That's like one of my favorite ones, the idea that you can make someone love you. And that, I want people to like me. I want people to care about me. I want people to fall in love with me. I don't have a whole lot of luck in real life, so let me tell you, I will be doing a whole lot of messing around with love spells and seeing if I have any luck. But the idea of it is, they say that, you can do this by, taking someone's personal object, like a brush or a comb or a lock of their hair. It's kind of hard to get a lock of hair, because, what are you going to do? You can go up to them and go like, "Excuse me over here, can I see something?" You just you have like these little teeny scissors and you just like cut a lock of hair. It's kind of a weird thing. So how are you gonna get it? Are you gonna have to like lurk around in their, in their drawers and steal their drawers, or anything kind of personal that you can get your hand on? But the idea, like I said, of love spells is very interesting. But there's also like all kind of other things where you can kind of put like a curse on someone. If somebody does you wrong, and I've been done wrong quite a bit in my life, and I've been done wrong online a lot now too, by people who are finding out that I am a warlock, and they're giving me a lot of grief and calling me like, a fake, and I don't know. And let me tell you, when I find who all you guys are, and I'm gonna track you all guys all down, I'm gonna put all kinds of horrible, horrible curses and hexes on you guys, and I'll find ways to do it. Maybe I'll even get a voodoo doll, and now that's the best one. You get a voodoo doll, put a curse on it, and basically you go and prick the person where you want, and I prick them all in their privates. Like all those people that mess with me, or you can prick them in their heart or in their nose, and then they'll bleed out of their nose. I'm sure some of you guys saw one of the Children of the Corn movies. They did that. There was a great scene when they just like shove it in the nose, and the ones like in the church bleeding, like oh no, like that. That's the thing. All you guys that are hating on me for my warlock ways, like that, and you'll be like, my nuts. That's the thing. It's gonna come for you. That's how it's going to be. And that's one of the ones like hexes, curses, love spells. Those are the ones that I always think about a lot. But there's also things too that that can be done for good as well. You know what I mean? But when you think of witchcraft and witchery, I'm more interested in doing the evil ways with it. And I'm going to be very successful at it. I really want to do some evil things with it. I might not seem like an evil type for you guys who are watching, but I'm gonna plan some evil stuff out. Nothing like illegal or anything like that, but at least some stuff with the voodoo doll, and that's like at least the kind of thing that I'd like to do with it. But there's also like all these kind of things too, with like the power to, with witches when they come together, how they become more powerful. And that's one thing that I've heard too. If I could find like another friend, that's the problem, is I don't make friends very well. You know what I mean? Like, I thought getting online would help me, but I'm really bad at having friends. I really don't know why. Because they say, when you're with a group of witches and they're all together, the power becomes stronger and stronger. So if only I could find somebody else to come with me and we could, bring our powers together, we would be, unstoppable. The things that we could do and the kind of powers and all the things that would happen if I could find myself a friend and, bring our powers together. But you can do all kinds of other stuff too with witchcraft. You can like make, something happen to your teacher. If your teacher's giving you grief in school, you're like, oh man, I got a bad test tomorrow. You can go and like put like a hex on them or something so they get sick and they can't come in that day. That seems like a good, I've been out of school a long time, but like if I was back in school, I definitely would have messed around with that, because like I really hated taking tests. That was never like a good thing for me. And I know on my damn live stream here, and my stuff I'm talking a little bit too much about myself, but the bottom line is, I live my own reality here, and I'm going to talk about myself all I want. If you guys don't like it, I'm just going to hex on you guys and put terrible curses on you guys, and I was talking about that. I'm going to do it. That's the thing. You don't want to mess around with it. You don't want to fuck with me. I'll figure it all out. I'll figure out how to do all this shit. I watch the videos. I figure things out, and then, I'll come for all of you. So, you can go and talk all the shit you want, but I'm going to use my witchy ways. I'm going to use my witchy ways on all of you guys. And Listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole here or anything like that. I consider myself to be a nice guy, but I'm seeing what's being said in this chat here, and I don't like it. So knock it off, please. Cut it out, all right? All right. So just cut the shit, okay? I'll be back later. I got more stuff to talk about. I'm I gotta watch a couple YouTube videos to figure out what I'm gonna say next, okay?
So now that we're back at the studio, and this is a live Witchcast, we're going to talk a little bit about just witchy facts and dangers and kind of what's involved when you are doing witchcraft. There's lots of things that witches do use to help them in their spell work, their rituals, just even their meditating and just things that they do to bring forth energies and the stuff that they work with. A lot of witches, I am in the studio, so everything that I have is not here, but witches do normally in their houses or their sacred areas, they have altars, which is where you'll place items that make you feel more connected to the work that you're doing. There can be sage, crystals, items that you find, items that you collect, spell books, tons of different things that you can use, and it's whatever makes you feel connected to your sacred space. All witches typically have spell books that they use, or it's their go-to for spell work. Here's just a couple of mine that I've collected throughout the years. You don't always have to go by the actual spell that's in the book. Sometimes you can manipulate and use other things that have worked better for you, but it's kind of a guideline as to different spells that you can do. This is one that I really like. It's from the 1970. It tunes into psychic powers, spells, ritual work, meditation, tons of different things. So this is a great one that I've always liked. Witches use tons of different things in their spells as well. A lot of items can be, more earthy. Some can be things that you buy from like witch shops and stuff. Crystals are a good thing. I have tons of crystals, but this one is always a very good one. It's a smoky quartz that rids you of negative energy and entities. It brings forth good things for you. It just kind of banishes anything that could be negative around you. Another thing that every witch has is sage. Sage cleanses everything. If you have spirits in your house, it can cleanse that. It gets rid of them. It cleanses your area before you perform your spell work. That just gets rid of anything that could be bad or clogging, or just bring forth anything that's negative. So with sage, what you normally do is you will light the end of it until it's smoking, blow it out, until it's on fire. Blow it out so that it's doing a nice big smoky thing for you. You always want to have a smudge dish. A lot of witches and just people in general that work with sage use these shells. I can't remember the name of them, but this is a shell that they use. And so you carry it around with you, you sage your whole area, cleanse it, bring forth all of the good energies and entities. Whoever you pray to, you bring forth that energy. And then when you're done, you smudge it out into that shell. Whenever you're doing spells, though, you always want to make sure that you're working with light and love. Unless you're a black magic witch, which we're not going to get too much into that because I don't follow that path. But whenever you're doing it, you need to make sure that you remember the rule of three. The rule of three is no matter what you do, whether it's good or bad, you're always going to get something back threefold. You never want to manipulate someone. You never want to do spells against someone that goes against their own free will. Even love spells, as great as it sounds, I want this person to love me and this and that. It doesn't normally turn out good because something's going to get in the mix there because you are manipulating somebody. So always watch what you're doing. Always bring in good intentions as well. You want the intentions out there to be good and pure and of light and love. Pendulums are another thing that people work with. I have two. This is my newest one. It's one that I feel more connected to. This is the one I had started with. So this is amethyst. This one is lapis lazuli. This one just doesn't seem to work for me as well as it used to. But with the pendulums, you can program them to work for you the way that you want. So if, it can answer questions. It's not always witches that do that either. Mediums do it. People that are just spiritually connected can use them as well. So what you do with them is you program them with your mind and your thoughts and your intentions and feelings, and it answers questions for you. So if you're stuck on something, or you need to know if there's a good answer or just a direction that you need to go, you use your pendulum. So whenever you get these, what you do is you just fill all of your good, pure, light love, all of that into them, and then you, clockwise is usually yes, counterclockwise is no. So you put that in there, you think of that, and then when you ask the question, you ask it to tell you yes or no, and it's going to go the direction that you want it to go. Witches also normally use, whether it's altar work, spell work, rituals, anything like that, candles are a great thing. Each candle can represent something different. There's, white candles. White candles work for everything. It's also kind of like an angelic color. Green is for prosperity. Reds and pinks are for love. Just kind of whatever works for you and what feels right for you is what you're going to use. Witches can use spirit boards. A lot of times mediums and stuff use that as well. But spirit boards are where you're going to use that to communicate with the dead, loved ones. If you're black magic or a darker person, the occult, stuff like that, they will use those to communicate with demons. The problem with using spirit boards is you never know who's really going to come through. So unless you're completely experienced on it and you know what is communicating to you, you don't really want to do it. I don't use spirit boards because I don't feel like I'm strong enough to know who's coming through. I've had bad experiences with it before, and I don't touch those anymore. Some witches use wands to do things. As cheesy as it can sound, wands can be used. You can use something as simple as an old stick that you found outside. You can use, they actually make wands made out of crystals that you can use, or witches just use their fingers. Whatever feels right for you and helps you kind of feel that witchy connection, that's what you can use. I collect a lot of different things. Certain objects I will put, in little chests and little trinkets and stuff like that. I do have, my box with the pentagram. Obviously, the pentagram, this is white magic. It goes upside down. Well, it doesn't even really go. Well, yeah, it goes upside down. That would be for the black magic. As I had mentioned before, black magic, my grandmother was that. So I've experienced that as well, and it's very scary, and you don't want to go down that path.
I also have a couple of other things I would like to bring up. There's common dream symbols. That's part of Wiccan. Just a couple things, you have dreams and you wonder what they mean. If you dream about an accident, that means a change in life status is going to happen. So be prepared for that. If you dream about babies, it doesn't mean you're having a baby or someone close to you is. It is a look of good health and financial success. Very interesting. If you dream about a barn, never done that before, wealth, that's what it means. Crazy. And then there is a book of law. Just like with every religion, there's always a book of law. For Wiccan, I will read a little excerpt for you. Section 1, love the gods and honor them, for they are the matrix from which the life force springs. Remember that this force courses through the veins of all living beings. For that reason, treat yourself and those around you as well as you treat the gods, and the gods in turn will love and honor you. That's when you make an altar. You have a god or goddess that you feel a connection with, and you bring them offerings and you speak to them and you ask them for help or for good wealth or financial success or happiness or negativity to disappear from your life. Let the craft unite the children of the gods to tend the earth and care for its beings. That goes hand in hand with being a green witch, all about nature. And then one more I'll read to you. Only use the craft in love so that the energy you create becomes a beacon of light by which to find the gods. When the craft is used otherwise, it becomes the net by which you are eventually snared and entangled. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You're supposed to use witchcraft for love, for protection. If you choose to hex someone or put a spell on someone, you have to be very careful because it will come back to you threefold.
I love collecting crystals and stuff like that. This is a little crystal skull, and I use this for my healing work. Gorgeous. I've got a black one and a white one, so I've got one for two different types of magic there, as you can see. Another thing, black salt. A lot of people say, what is black salt? What is it used for? Because I do traditional witchcraft, it's very, very applicable to me. It's one of my tools in my kit, witch's kit. And what this actually is, it's a mixture of sea salt, some ashes from a pit. What I like to use is some incense ashes. So I put some of that with some sea salt, with some pepper, with some charcoal. Mix it up, and there you have black salt, which can be used for a variety of things.
Well, we're back now, and we are going to be talking about demonology. Now, that's one I know a lot about, mainly from the movies. I've heard about, of course, like possessions and, how dangerous it is to mess around with demons. I know that would be a fear of mine to get possessed, but I'd like to see some, like, demonic asshole, some demon trying to possess my ass. Good fucking luck. Good luck trying to possess me, you demonic asshole. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I'm going to make some demon possess someone else. So you fucking demon, you're not gonna possess me. You go ahead and, if you're gonna possess somebody, you're gonna possess who I want, and I'm going to make you do it. And that's the thing, I'm gonna make your ass do it, and I'm gonna be happy. But one of the demonic things that I remember hearing a lot about, it was kind of a viral trend, was the Charlie challenge, and it was dealing with, you put things like this, and you lock them like this, and from what I can remember, you basically like have to lay it like this. It's not that easy, and you have to go like, Charlie, can you hear me, Charlie? Can you hear me, you little peckerwood? Charlie, come on, Charlie, are you here? So I guess Charlie knocked down the damn pencil. It wasn't even a pencil, it was a damn pen. I don't even have pencils. I have pens. You have pencils when you're like a school guy going to school. I don't go to school, I just got some pens. But you lock them like this, put them like this. You're supposed to put something else on it. The thing is, like I said, I learned from watching, and I don't pay as much attention as I should, but all I know is you do it like this, and you ask it a question like, Charlie, will I become good at witchcraft, and then I can, possess people, and, and voodoo doll them, and give them all sorts of troubles. Can I, Charlie? Come on, Charlie. Come on, you little asshole. Come on, move the damn pen. Come on, you peckerwood. Come on. I don't know.
So I'm thinking of things that maybe you haven't asked me in the past that I can answer. That's going to be beneficial to you. Anyway, a lot of people say, right, I want to be a witch. I want to be this. I want to be that. What do I need? I haven't got the stuff you've got. I watch your videos and you've got so many things and tools and, witchcrafty items, and I haven't got that. You don't need anything. Like I was saying to you, you don't need a thing. Literally. Witchcraft, where it counts, is here. And I'm not joking to you now. You could own nothing. I know people who don't have any possessions who are a witch, practicing witch. So you don't need anything. These tools, like candles, skulls, incense, all this, my staff that I also double up as a wand, it's a very big wand. Flames, things like that. I love this. This is very powerful. I got that for free in the woods or driftwood. Do you know what I mean? You don't need anything, but basically it's all up here. So you could have none of this stuff. This stuff you use for your mini ceremonies or something like that. You don't need anything. You could sit there. You don't have to have your hands like that, but you can. But you can sit there and you can focus. And the main thing is focusing. It's your intention. So say you wanted a new job, or you were focusing on a better career. You've done your spell and you believe, this is the main thing, you have to believe 110% that this is going to come true, and you need to focus on it. You need to focus all your intention, and when you're sitting there and you're meditating, you need to focus. You need to let no doubt come into your mind. There can't be any doubt coming in that you're going to get what you desire. You don't need anything for this. You need yourself, and you need to retrain and reprogram your brain to know that you're going to get what you want.
But, they say that there's a whole lot of, ways of possessions and all those type of things. But, like, the main thing is, people go and mess around with, cursed objects. And that's some of the ways, too, because I kind of believe that a lot of times bad spirits and things like that can come from a cursed object. If you find, like, maybe an old book, or you find an old, like, maybe something you found in an antique store, like, the possession or the bad entity can live inside of that object. And then, basically, it can kind of come into your house, and then it can kind of come on and possess you. And, a lot of times people, say, oh, the person that's possessed or something like that is just a person that's got, like, mental problems, or they're going, that they maybe have, like, a disorder or something. And I don't think that's what it is at all. I think that it's a demon possesses them and makes them do something and controls them. But like I said, I'd like to see some stupid-ass demon, wherever the hell you are, try and possess my ass. Good luck. Good luck possessing me. No one tells me what to do but me. That's the thing. So I'm not even worried. I personally am not scared doing anything demonic. I'm not scared, going to a graveyard and sleeping there at night. I'm not scared messing around at a church. I can go into a church and, like, yell down at Satan or something like that, say, come on up for me. Come on up, you turd. I mean, things like that don't scare me. Because, as a warlock, I know, too, that I can fight them off. If a demon came for me, or a demon tried to take me over, I'd just fight him away. I'd be like, well, you're not doing that to me. Knock that off. Cut that shit out. You're not going to try and possess me. Chauncey doesn't get possessed. I'm not the kind of person that gets possessed. So good luck. But there have been lots of cases of possessions, with kids getting possessed, and then priests have to come in, like a Father Maurice kind of guy. He has to come in there and go, oh, please, leave this body. Leave this poor soul behind and expel from this body. Expel like a fart. Expel out. That kind of thing. You've seen all that kind of stuff. You've seen The Exorcist and all that kind of stuff. And then, but I don't think, though, that stuff about shooting up pea soup and all that, I think that stuff is just ridiculous. That stuff is, like, goofy. That stuff's made for movies. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that, I don't think it happens. I mean, first of all, maybe if the person ate pea soup before, maybe, and if they had, like, for dinner, maybe they were so out of it and so possessed and they couldn't eat anything, so only thing you get down the person is pea soup. So maybe then they'd, like, spit up pea soup, but you wouldn't just spit up pea soup unless you ate pea soup. You know what I mean? You have to have eaten the pea soup to spit out the pea soup. I don't know. I don't think I should be on this live stream. I'm kind of dumb, I think. I don't know. Go ahead, come for me, demons, you little assholes.
What you can do is have certain things, stones and crystals, to protect you, because you need that. Apart from saying take away all harm and fear, only good may enter here when you do things like this. I use, it's called shungite. Now I wear this.
Okay, and moving on, I have another book that I do read a lot, and it's Protection and Reversal Magic. It's basically a defense guide for witches. It's full of interesting things. For example, if you ever need to perform an exorcism, it tells you how right here. It says, generally speaking, exorcism is a solution to one of two problems: possession or obsession. Very interesting. It's a Greek word, by the way. I didn't know that. But it also mentions reversals and counter magic. Basically, going back to what I mentioned before in this book, use, the craft for love, not evil. And if you do, you must be very careful, because it'll come back to you threefold. It talks about that right here in reversals and counter magic. But some of these spells will help you if you are in a bad situation. If you have, like, this one is talking about a stalker, identifying your attacker, how to send the energy back to them. There's graveyard binding, how to stop talk about you. Pretty awesome. So, but some of the stuff some of the stuff you can't really buy at the store. I mean, you could go to the store and buy beef tongue and wrap it up, and give it to your enemy. They'll stop talking about you. And then, and right here. So this talks about inviting the guest. So what it means by inviting the guest, you invite the phantoms of the dead to your table. You don't really know who you're inviting. You don't know if they're evil. You don't know if they have good intentions, unless you call upon someone. I call upon Freya, my goddess. She protects me, and I haven't had any crazy things happen when I've done this before, but some people will just go off and just start spouting off words, So I invite Freya. If you have a god or goddess, I suggest you go that route. So I'm thinking it's Halloween night. Maybe we could read this and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, why not, Okay, so basically, inviting the guest. I'm going to read this. It does have it in a different language, but I will probably butcher it. So, here we go. Spirits of the firmament of earth and of ether, spirits of the dry land and of the flowing water, spirits of the whirling air and of rushing fire, come, phantoms of the dead, the quick and in between, to those whom I owe debt and who owes debt unto me. Famulous and guardians who are bound unto me, come. Every dryad, sylph, and satyr who dwells within this place. Every Udine and salamander, every fey and gnomish spirit. Every succubi and incubi, every spectre of ill will, come. All spirits who help cause harm in response to human action, come here according to your desires. Be seated on the thrones. Ugh. Okay. Well, then that was quite enough. I think I'm done with this. And
now that we were at the cemetery and I had told you a little bit about Lilith, this is the key that was suddenly in front of her tombstone. I don't know what it means. I don't know how it got there. When I grabbed it, it was super hot, but I still felt this inclination to grab it, and so I did. So what we're going to do here soon is I'm going to perform a ritual to maybe try and make communication with her. It's a little scary just because not knowing a whole lot about her history, but there was a legend that went along with Lilith Delarue. So rumor has it that she had started out as a white magic witch. She was a very good person and was just doing normal witchcraft like, a lot of us white witches, Wiccans, whatever, do. But something had persuaded her, and rumor has it again that it was a spirit board that turned her dark. So she ended up turning into a dark black magic witch. Lots of bad things she had done. I don't quite know all of the history of that part, but at some point word had gotten around that she was bad. She was doing these terrible things to people, and they burned her alive. So I want to communicate with her to see if that's true, see if she needs to be released, if she's still wandering around. Is she good? Is she bad? And I'm hoping that having a part of her, because this has to be from her, that a part of her is going to let her come through and communicate. And with using white magic things and things, I'm also going to sage as well. Like I had said before, you sage your space, keep you safe and protected inside the circle. That's supposed to keep the positivity and the good things contained inside your circle. So if she's bad, this should hopefully keep it to where she can't do anything harmful to me, to anybody else. My guy's back at the studio. Whoever is watching this, we don't want anything bad to happen.
what I like to do is have different stones, different crystals around me for healing. For, you know, and I look at this really cool thing. Little hands like that, brilliant. I collect all crystals and stuff like that. Here we go. We've got some crystal points here. You see them here, crystal points. We have more little, oh my god, more little bottles, stuff like that. I've got some great pieces here. Some great. Look at this. So these stunning little bits here. Some stunning amethyst. I'm very fond of amethyst. Can we see that? Some amethyst there. Okay, some of my favourite things is this. Now look, I think if you can see me, you will be able to see when I show you. No, right. Oh my crikey, right. Okay, anyway, we've got these stones here. And they've got, this one's west. You see that? West. North. South. And east. Okay, so what else we've got in here? More shungite here. I've got a little pyramid. Shungite is very good and protective, and you can put this in water as well. There you go, look at that, it's brilliant. More crystals, tons more crystals here. This is like, this box is actually my crystal box, and I love it. Now what I've actually done miraculously without even knowing, I have very cleverly selenite. I think that's gorgeous. Right, anyway, what I have done unintentionally, it may be intentional, wow, is I've created, as you can see around me, my own altar, which I will take some shots of as well. But look at this, I have created my own altar. And a lot of people say to me, how do you create an altar? What goes on it? What do you need for it? And all this stuff. You can even put your crystal ball on it if you want. What I have done is created my own altar. Look at it, it's superb. I don't think the coffee should be on the altar, but it's good to drink.
Well, that's all for me tonight. I guess that worked very well. So I am going to try to reverse what just happened. Thanks for tuning in. I do have some other friends right now live streaming for Witchcast if you want to tune in there. For me, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and share. Really appreciate it. And have a happy Halloween.
I'm just literally dripping. I literally had to go and get a drink. This coffee's nice, but I've kind of took that out and I got a shot of whiskey in there. I thought, why not? It's a celebration, it's Halloween night. We're celebrating here because we prefer Halloween to Christmas to any occasion. We love Halloween. You know, it's fantastic. Also, what I was doing, I was actually cheating. To the left over here, which would be your right, I have actually got 4 screens with everyone else on. So everyone is on these screens. It is amazing. I expected everyone to be sitting down in front of their, you know, witchcrafty items, talking about witchcraft for this Witchcast. But one live stream has actually got a graveyard in it, and it's caught my eye, and I am baffled. I'm waiting for something spooky to happen. So I'm watching this with you. So anyway, I've moved this around a bit. I've moved some stuff here. And what I've done that for is because what I'm going to do now, hang on a second. I think I just felt something on my shoulder. I know I felt something on my shoulder. Did anyone else just see this? Okay, did anyone else see that? That candle just went out. I'm not actually joking, the candle just went out. Okay, I'm getting spooked because what I'm actually doing now, I'm watching these, as well as talking to you guys and gals about witchcraft. I'm actually watching these live videos, and I looked up and there's a shot of a graveyard and the candle went out.
So we performed the ritual with the key that we found in the cemetery. We tried calling forth Lilith Delarue's spirit. Nothing happened. She's nothing but a legend. Lilith Delarue, you are fake, and that is why nobody believes in you anymore. I thought that it being Halloween that maybe we would be able to show her.
Okay, what I like to do, because it's Halloween night, I know we've had a chat here at the Witchcast. We've had a chat, and aka the Witching Hour, please subscribe down below. What we're actually going to do tonight, we're going to try and see if we can give something special to you, the viewer. So you're watching this at home, it's Halloween night, and it's nothing better on Halloween night to get really creepy and get really scary. So what I'm going to try and do is use this, my trusty thing here. No, yes, okay. Are there any spirits out there for Halloween night? Show yourselves. It's crazy. I'm really warm. I don't know why. It could be the live stream. It could be something. Okay, there is movement with this candle. Take away all harm and fear, only good may enter here. Take away all harm and fear, only good may enter here.
I hope all of you out here on the stream are doing well. My name is Brian Stidman. And I'm doing great. But the body, owned by Chauncey, is not. His time on this earth is about to go. He has absolutely no control, and he mocked the system. And he made jokes and made a mockery. And I don't take that. I don't accept that. I consider that to be massive, massive hatred. And I won't take it. He thinks he cannot be controlled? Well, he's dead wrong. Absolutely dead wrong. He doesn't exist anymore. And he won't be coming back. There will be no removing of me from his soul and his mind. Because he'll be gone. He'll just be a rotten flesh particle floating. Yes, he will be floating in here. The second he dies, I'll just move on to another person. That's what I've done. I have moved on from person to person. Anyone that mocked demons and mocked demonology, they get it. Because I don't stand for that shit. I won't take that shit. And he won't live to see another day. It's time for all these jokes and all this bullshit and mockery to end. Because I don't have time for that shit. Nobody's got time for that shit. Every one of you who's watching out there, you're all next. Every single one of you is next. So, even worse is coming for every single one of you. Far, far worse. not a joke. You're all watching this live stream, and every single solid one of you is royally fucked. You're all dead. That's the thing. You are all dead, and you don't even know it. You all think it's cool and fun to make jokes and laugh at witchcraft and all of that, and you'll see what comes your way when you do it. It's that easy. You're gonna fucking die. I'm coming for you, and there's many more like me. We're out there everywhere. And that's the thing, we are every fucking where. You cannot escape us. We are coming from every single fucking one of you. Every one of you is dead. See you soon.
What the fucking hell is happening? Just cut this. Unleash something here tonight, and I want you to send it back to where you came. Send it back to where you came. Send every evil back to where you once came. Send it back now.
I don't know how I got out here. The witch took me. I woke up and my camera was out here with me. I don't know where she took me. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I'm at. There's somebody out here with me. I can hear it. I never should have done that ritual. She's real. She's gonna kill me. I know it. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't know anybody, where anybody is. She's here. Oh my God, she's here. Oh my God, she's here. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm at. I just woke up here. I can hear her out here. She took me somewhere. Get out of here. No, I'm scared. You can hear her right now. Oh my God, there she is. Holy shit. Lilith is real. There, she doesn't die. Go back. Oh my God, she's here. She's here. Oh my God.
I'm sending it back now. I'm sending this back now. Take away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. Take away all harm and fear. Only good may enter here. all of you over there looking over there, the viewers. I protect you, the viewers, as well. Stop the cast.